And I think that race always plays a part in this, because when jurors are looking at the defendant, they want to be able to understand him. And here they have a young man that likely looks like their son.
No matter what the race of the people who were killed were, I mean, he went to go shoot black people. They're not victims. Victims? No. I don't, minorities, they say, black people are angry in this country. They're not nearly angry enough. Not nearly angry enough.
But what I am concerned about is the precedent this sets for what people will believe that they can do under law when Black Lives Matter protests happen in the future.
It's a warning to every white suburbanite with a Black Lives Matter poster in their window. Every white church youth leader chanting about George Floyd in front of the local Walmart.
Do you feel like your life's been destroyed by this?
I feel my life has been extremely defamed by it. I don't think I would be able to go out and get a job and not have to deal with harassment, but
always leave it to the media to stoke the fires of racial division, even when the situation has literally nothing to do with race. It's all just political fodder to further a point that's steeped in a completely false narrative.
Yeah, so if I was the parents of the victims who are dead because Kyle Rittenhouse murdered them, no matter what the race of the people who were killed were. I mean, he went to go shoot black people. They're not victims. Victims? No. If you murder them, you know what happens? The right wing gives you millions of dollars. That's literal.
Literal what? Defamation? Cenk, you run a media organization. You should know better than to make statements like this. Like, what was the plan here? Were you just gonna soft roll back your statements after the verdict dropped in hopes to avoid a defamation suit? You wouldn't be that petty, would you?
Well, how about Huber? So he never got to cry on the stand because he was murdered, or now killed, officially killed, not murdered. And so you never got to see him crying. You never got to see him do anything. He was killed as a young man in the streets because a maniac was running around with an AR-15 shooting anything that he perceived to be a threat after he started going in there, in my opinion, with the confrontation of bringing in weapons to a protest in the first place. Oh, you want to go into the middle of a dangerous riot? My 17-year-old son? Here, I'll drive you across state lines to do it. Oh, here's an AR-15, so in case a butterfly floats by, you just murder everyone, okay? I'm sorry, kill everyone, okay?
You know, I've got to say, that's the most low-effort attempt at not getting sued I think I've ever seen. For someone that was so wrong about everything, you sure don't seem too eager to correct the record.
And by the way, just last thing, think about it from this perspective. Kyle Rittenhouse goes in with a weapon into the protest. He chases people with it. He points the weapon at someone. They then try to wrestle the weapon away because they have a loaded gun pointed at him, a loaded weapon at him, right?
Yeah, like I said, you got everything wrong. And the only one I've seen make any sorts of corrections or apologies is Anna. Honestly, I think you should make a little bit more of an effort to correct the record. If not for doing the right thing as a media organization, then for purely your company's sake. Let's get back to the media stoking the fires of racial division.
And I think that race always plays a part in this, because when jurors are looking at the defendant, they want to be able to understand him. And here they have a young man that likely looks like their son. He looks like their nephew. Is this someone that they can relate to, and that they felt that what he was saying was true, and they identified with that? So race always plays an instant.
So you're just saying he got away with it because he's white? Is it just me, or is the media really nothing more than racial rage bait these days?
Kyle Rittenhouse killed 2 white men protesting on behalf of Black lives and got away with it. That's the single most important thing to understand about today's ruling. By allowing him to go free and potentially commit other crimes, this jury sent the final and loudest warning to white America about the dangerous rise of white nationalist terror in this country. Kyle Rittenhouse was able to kill Joseph Rosenbaum and Anthony Huber and face no consequences because those men were race traitors. white men who had the audacity to protest that police shot Jacob Blake. They stood against the core conceit of white supremacy, that straight white men have dominion over everything, especially black bodies.
Well, I guess that answered my question. This is actually ridiculous that the media keeps getting away with this petty slandering of their political opposition. Like, both sides have plenty of bad policies you could criticize. There's honestly no need for this. The straw man they've built legitimately doesn't exist. Except for maybe some super fringe weirdos. It shouldn't be the main talking point day in and day out. And I really don't think it makes your opposition look as bad as you do by concocting such madness.
But what I am concerned about is the precedent this sets for what people will believe that they can do under law when Black Lives Matter protests happen in the future. And that people may use this as an excuse to start going out of state and doing what this teenager did, believing that they'll get away with it, and in some cases, getting away with it.
No. 1,000 times no. No precedent has been set. Self-defense is not a new concept. You guys just politicized this case from its inception and got it wrong every step of the way. All because you can't skip any opportunity to project your delusions onto your audience for profit. Although, Hassan might still take the cake on that one though. Oh, you don't know what I'm talking about? Well, then check out this video here.
Where is our America Deserved Hassan, and what have you done with him? What, that I'm being like calmer and nicer? Making fun of rural people as always from your $3 million house? Wait, what?